Hey guys, it is 2:47 in the morning on the 15th day of July CampNaNo. I still feel like hell, to say the least, but I have been working in Letters from Madman, and I just did 1,445 words in it. Let me show you that here, maybe. There we go. So originally I had this one set to meet 40,000 words, but I don't know if it's going to be a novel, so at the moment I have changed the goal to 17,500 words for it to be a novella. That could go up at any point. It kind of just depends on how the story goes. It's like way back when, it wasn't that long ago. The Manetti Horror Twins was originally supposed to be a novella, but it ended up being a full-blown novel. Totally just depends on where the story goes. I just, at this moment, don't think it will make it to novel length, but we'll see. But I have added those words into CampNaNo, and that brings my total to 59,033 words on the written count. So we are slowly making progress today. More progress than yesterday anyway. At least at this hour. I could still totally drop off the cliff and do nothing else for the rest of the day. But I'm going to try not to do that. But I didn't finish the chapter that I was working on there because I just don't need to at this very moment. So while I still have at least a brief moment of pain-free here, I'm going to move on to Tito Vito and start a new chapter there. I think it's from Vito's point of view, which so far has proven to be a little more difficult than telling the story from Tito's point of view. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to try and write at least a couple hundred words in there. And I think I'm also going to shift that one down to 17,500 as the goal, just so that way it doesn't look quite as stressful. There. So I'm going to try and write a little bit in Tito Vito, and then see where my morning is. Hopefully that doesn't take me until like 4 a.m. But if I accomplish writing at least a couple hundred words in there, I will then move on to Rasmussen, but I will give you guys an update after I do something. Alrighty, so I just finished V's chapter with a little over 1,000 words. So over on CampNaNo, that brings my total so far this morning to 2,530. As a pro tip for writing, there are some people who do word sprints, like you time yourself and see how many words you get in that time. A lot of people do really, really well in those if they're competing against other people for a higher count. I don't really like word sprints. I tend to feel guilty if I get more words than someone else, so I always purposely type slower when I'm doing word sprints. I do join them a lot during the day on the Discord that I'm on, just so that way people don't have to sprint alone, but I don't really like them. But what I do like when I'm not sprinting are word crawls. There aren't a lot that I personally can do because a lot of them are about like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and stuff that I don't watch or read, but there's a zombie apocalypse one and there's a supernatural one that I do, and I only had to do 1, 2, 3. I only had to do 3 steps to finish that chapter of Tito Vito. So if you're stuck, try scrolling through WikiWrimo's word sprints that are archived there, or word crawls, sorry, that are archived there, and you might find one that helps you get through something, because they're a little easier to get through if you're stuck. Like this first one is write 250 words, but there's no time limit on it, so you can write it for however long you want, and you don't feel pressured to do anything. So for a lot of people, these can come in handy. I started doing them one of the last CampNaNos, I can't remember when, but somebody was talking about them on the Discord that I'm a part of, and I've kind of just done them every now and then since. I don't do them super often because I often forget that they exist, but when I do use them, it typically comes in handy. There are also days that they don't help at all. But it totally depends on who you are, and if you've never tried them before, it might be worth a shot. But now, I am going to move on to Rasmussen, I think, and then see what happens. I'm going to copy the chapter that I just finished into WATTPAD, and then I'm going to take a very short break. I need to get up and walk around. Sitting down too long just kind of really kills my legs and my back. I'll be honest, again, I have the body of a 70-year-old, so I need a very short break, and then I will start in Rasmussen and hopefully get you guys one more update before I go to sleep.
So I didn't even realize that it was after 5, but I did just finish the chapter of Rasmussen that I've been working on for probably the past several times that I've written in the book, and I've added that into CampNaNo over here. So at this point, I've been out in the living room for well over an hour longer than I normally try to be. So I'm going to finish my coffee and shut off everything in here and then move all my stuff back to my room. I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face and then climb into bed, but I'm probably not going to go to sleep. I'm not super tired, and I'm still in pain. Slightly less miserable than I was yesterday, but I usually am less miserable in the early hours of the morning. So I don't think I will be able to go to sleep easily, so I will probably still be writing. Plan would be to move on to Hearts and Roses and see if I can accomplish anything there, and if progress is slow, I will just lay down and stare at the wall for a while until I fall asleep. But either way, I will either update you guys one more time before I go to sleep, or I will update you guys after I wake up. Alrighty, so again, I've only filled out the writing chart for day 15. I did manage to write 5,000 words for day 15, which was surprising. I was still pretty miserable today, but I did what I could to push through it, which I think I succeeded in at least most of the way. Mostly, yeah, everything but the campsite butcher, and then I made it up through Grim Reaper, and then I skipped Crushed by Time and Academy, and just decided to pretty much break for the rest of the night, because I didn't think that I could force myself to write anything else. But for day 16, I'm starting on some editing, so that will be the next thing that you see in the next video. But that is all I have for day 15. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated, and if you would like to stay updated on my writing, CampNaNo, or anything in between, feel free to subscribe. All of the links to my authors pages, as well as the links to my social media, are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.